whole lot of loving is what we'll be bringing. We'll make you happy.
Hello, I'm Olivia LaField, welcoming you to episode 32 of Schools with Heart. Today I'm going to take a serious deep dive into my ever-expanding focus on a topic that every teacher and parent in America cares deeply about: self-respect. I needn't try to convince you that unless the citizens of America respect themselves, our country will not long endure. And more to the point of today's video, unless the students in our classrooms respect themselves, they will never respect you, the teacher, or their peers. During the past year, I talked about self-respect more than I have in all my years in the classroom combined. I've been connecting it more and more to success and a happy life. Our bottom line here is that kids who don't respect themselves are unhappy children who, as a result of their unhappiness, make choices that lead to tremendous suffering. It's a vicious, self-perpetuating cycle that may ultimately lead to a tragic life. I couldn't be more serious about the problem, and I've decided to dedicate the 2022-23 school year to the topic of systematically and incrementally teaching children to create happiness. This happiness focus will, in fact, be the topic of my next book. As yet, I don't even have the title, but I've begun the introduction, and I have a strong sense of the first few chapters. It's all sort of marinating in my mind right now, but by this time next year, I've no doubt that I'll begin collaborating with my publishers to infuse the dream with life. So exciting. Now back to today's topic of self-respect. You may remember that I changed the first question in the emotional quotient inventory from "I like myself" to "I respect myself." I would never have done that if I hadn't started focusing on self-respect as I have in the past few months. It just seems like everything gets down to self-respect. The skills of independence do, emotional intelligence does, growth mindset does. They're all inextricably connected. My ultimate goal is for our students to be able to connect their choices and the consequences of their choices to whether or not they listened to their heart's voice and respected themselves. But first, they must thoroughly recognize the attributes of people who respect themselves. I'm creating an activity on that right now, and you will find it in the back of my poster book, along with several other self-respect activities. Definitely, the long-term way of immersing self-respect into our daily SEL curriculum will be to bring it into daily conversations and discussions with students. That's applying the repetition theory that I talked about in episode 29. It's making it a part of our SEL language. For example, in my counseling sessions with students, I will now begin to include a question like, do you feel like you have more or less self-respect as a result of your choice to whatever the case may be? Of course, if they're in some kind of trouble, in most cases, their answer will be less self-respect, of course. But I'll be sure to then ask, well, how do you know? Why do you think that? Since I've never yet had such a conversation, I can only predict that the student will say something like, because I feel bad about what I did, or I'm not happy, or I'm in trouble, so that must mean I have less self-respect. It won't be hard to help the student see the connection, that bad choices lead to lower self-respect, which leads to lowered happiness and success. And then the question arises, well, so what if the student doesn't care about their degree of self-respect? What do? We do what I did with Ethan. We do everything in our power to help them care. And how can we do that? We apply unconditional and, if necessary, tough love that never lets go, that never gives up. Only love convinces, only love gets through, only love breaks down the walls and penetrates the heart. Does it work every time? Personally speaking, there are more cases than I would like to remember of students who did not respond to my endeavors to help. But happily, the longer I teach, the fewer refuse my overtures. Why is that? Because every year I learn to love on deeper levels. It just seems like there's no limit to the depths we can go to save kids. That's our part, to learn to love. It's our most important lesson. In episodes to come, I'll let you know how our self-respect/happiness focus is going. And two, I'll let you know how I'm doing with my challenges who stubbornly refuse to let me help them. I end today with our self-respect chant. It's in your poster book as well as in the school that love built. Remember, from 2nd to 8th grade, our students end the day, every day, with these words. Self-respect is the feeling I have about myself. It isn't something I can buy. No one can give it to me. The only way for me to have self-respect is to earn it by continuing to do the right thing, one choice at a time. Thank you for today. I hope you enjoyed our video. God bless you, and God bless the United States of America.